There's a time dragon?
Yes. No, stop. I did not know. I didn't want to add it in because I wanted to stick with the basics. What? I wanted to stick with the basics. That is a different... All right. Hold on. 2 seconds. What is up, adventurers? Rikquasar here. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Discussions, the video where we have friends, acquaintances, and fellow adventurers to discuss a question in the said D&D world. And our friend Ben over here has just made a wonderful discovery. Tell him what you discovered, Ben.
It's a time dragon.
What? I saw it. I was like, no, I can't wrap my mind around this. We're gonna do the bare basics, but yeah, no, there's a time dragon. Okay,
sure. I don't feel like that fits into any three of the categories we're looking into.
No. Anyways, join me today is fellow adventurers Ben and Hannah. Say hello.
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 And yes, today we are talking about dragons. We're doing another tier list because for some reason those just do really well. So, whatever. Anyways, I discussed with them, we're gonna be discussing the basics, the basic dragons. None of like the name brand dragons like Tiamat and whatever. Because we're gonna stick with just the typical dragons. But they are just as powerful in their own right, so we need to, of course, rank them. Anyways, the 3 types that we're gonna do are the chromatics, metallics, and the gem dragons. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Which ones do you guys want to start with?
Just for clarification, a deep dragon is not on this list either, correct?
Deep dragon.
I think you're inventing dragons unknown to science.
Yeah.
No, it was one of the ones that was released in Fizzbands.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. And all the gem dragons were... I also saw turtle...
I don't think it's a gem dragon, though.
Yeah, I saw turtle dragons, too, which I also left out. And I'm like...
Those are cool.
Yeah, sure. And then what was the other one? The time dragon, yes.
We can do, like, a cutting room floor episode for all the dragons we didn't get to here.
Yeah, the extra special ones that are just weird. When I think dragon, I do think of, like, metallic, chromatic, or I know gems are the gem dragons were kind of newer, but I feel like I have seen gem dragons in like different games or movies or TV series or whatever. Like I've seen it before, so I feel like they've been around. I definitely fought a couple in like Monster Hunter, I feel like. But yeah, no. Why don't we start with the chromatic dragons then? If that is okay.
Oh, the sad little ones. As you found out.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. We'll get to that though. Let's start with the white dragons. Before, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for all of you watching. It is a typical tier list. So S, A, B, C, D, and F. How we're ranking them. I definitely want to include. No. What is determining where we're judging them? What's determining what where they belong, what letter grade they get? I definitely want to include layer actions in discussing their majesticness, because that we are talking specifically about ancient dragons, so that we get them in their quote most powerful form. We're going to talk about the layer actions that they have. I want to include their physical appearance as well. I know like it varies depending on dungeon master to dungeon master. They have like their own way to describe said dragon, but I figured that would be, there's like the general imagery of said dragons. I was talking about, I don't know if I like this waiver, but like the TPK chance of how quick said dragon can destroy your party. And then there was something else, but I cannot remember. But I feel like we can start with that, and if we think of anything, we can think of that and work from there. Thoughts, concerns, questions or any add-ons that we should do?
I mean, we could do a category in terms of like how friendly a dragon is for like a DM to like run.
Oh, that's hard though, because that's
Yeah.
so subjective.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
the alignment chart, like you can have the alignment charts, like of what it says for each dragon. The alignments for any creatures, I mean, you can have a friendly ooze and just be like, this is my pet ooze, Jerry. That I keep him around to entertain the little ones, because I don't know, they like watching a giant bowl of jello. So alignment, the suggested alignment is very flip-floppy in my opinion. But anyways, let's start with the white dragon, because
let's start with the loser right away. Just get him out of the way.
Is he actually though?
White dragons are like, I don't want to disparage their bad name too much, but like they're not great. Like it's acknowledged in canon that white dragons are the weakest of the chromatic dragons.
Are they also the stupidest? Question mark.
Oh, they're definitely the stupidest. They've got like a flat 10 int, which is really low for a dragon.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at it right now. It's an 8.
What do
for an ancient white?
Are we? I thought
ancient.
I heard we were looking at adults. That's what I was told yesterday.
No,
I was told ancients.
I was told I said ancients. I said ancients. Okay. Did I? I'm sorry. If you heard adult, I am sorry. I did mean ancients. I can show you. Oh man, did I text you and say ancients?
This is why you always get it in writing.
I know. I texted Hannah and I said ancients. Did I text you and say ancients as well?
I don't think you texted me that. I think we just talked about it last night.
Okay.
Here, Ben, I'll share. I've got a document that I have all the links to all the different ancient stat blocks.
Yes.
So I'll just I'll send that in the chat.
Nice, perfect. Anyways, yes. Sorry, ancient dragons, not adult dragons. The big boys. But that also is curious to me that they're like that they only get to a 10 intelligence and their ancient form, which is pretty good. And I find it funny. I listened to Critical Role while I'm driving around doing my deliveries, and Matt made like a comment of they're going to like to not fight an ancient white dragon, but like they need to see ancient white dragon. And Matt was like, oh yeah, they're researching it, and it's like, yeah, white dragons are typically like, they're not the most intelligent, and then they go to the white dragon and it is conniving and very evil and everything. And yeah, they did fool it with like some illusion stuff, but it's still like the stupid dragon is still pretty
I mean, so like,
yeah,
from that perspective, if you took somebody of like average intelligence and you let them live for like a few thousand years, I'm sure they'd be, smarter than your average person.
Yeah, I think a lot of the intelligence around the white dragon is more about like what it's motivated by. White dragons are noted to be one of the few dragons that will fight to the death, just flatly, not out of pride, just because it's like, if I don't win this, what's the point?
Yeah. And they that makes them a bit more dangerous, because if they know that, oh well, I should go back and regroup and heal and like get in my lair, they won't do that then. So that does make them a bit more dangerous. Just a little bit.
And they're also noted to have a very good memory of any time they've been slighted or bested, and will seek out vengeance against those people.
Very petty.
So they're real nasty customers, but in terms of stats, they're not actually that strong compared to pretty much all other ancient dragons. They've got a lot of the basics, like they've got a breath weapon. They have pretty basic layer actions, like I believe it's an ice cloud that blinds people in the area, but they don't have anything special.
Yeah, freezing fog, 20-foot radius, DC 10, Constitution state 10. Okay.
Yeah, right?
10. All right. Whatever. Yeah, no. I do get the white dragons, it has a decent hit points, but you said, is that the lowest of the dragons?
I believe so, yes.
Chromatics, at least.
It's nothing to scoff at. 333 hit points, or 18 d20s plus 144, which is not bad at all. I'm not running that math real quick, but so a basic dragon then.
Yeah, they're also highly territorial and more likely to fight other white dragons than really team up with them if threatened. I will say they do have high mobility in their lair and on icy surfaces, but that's very situational.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they are very, oh no, you're not getting away. I'm gonna eat my face. I'm gonna eat your face.
Average white dragon moment. I'm gonna eat my face.
I'm gonna prove to you that I'm winning this fight. Look, you know what? First hit's on me. Just tears a chunk of its own flesh off. All right, there you go. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. I want to put a white dragon in F simply because it is pretty much the bottom of the barrel. I think if we have to have an F tier dragon, it's gonna be the white dragon.
I think Ben.
It's not going to be the only one in F tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
put it in F tier.
Ben might have a different thought about F tier dragons. 2 seconds. My laptop is not plugged in, so that would have been bad.
A dragon is not very intelligent when it specifically points out in lore. These guys are really dumb.
Just give him a chance.
If I was an adventuring party and I had to pick what ancient dragon I was going up against, a white dragon would be on the list in terms of ones I'd be more confident in taking on.
If it had to be like a head-on confrontation, absolutely. Yeah. Like, these guys don't even know about guerrilla tactics.
Guerrilla tactics?
Oh yeah, some of the other ones are super into guerrilla tactics.
For ignorant,
like guerrilla warfare, not like No,
I'm aware. I am aware. I've heard the term before. I just don't know like what the exact definition is.
Hit and run.
Like
hit and run. Okay.
Yeah, hit and run, setting traps, attacking and then leaving before you can actually be attacked yourself.
Okay.
Something an intelligent dragon would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
not a white dragon though.
No.
I do feel bad because I don't know. The white dragons to me are just. Because of how aggressive they are, they can be more dangerous. Like, and if they get someone if the unknowing adventuring party goes in and not really prepared or whatnot, then this sucker gets the drop on them. It could be bad news for them. I feel a little bad. I don't want to give them a high letter grade, but I feel a little bad putting them in F. Could I potentially persuade you two for a D?
I would be willing that as we continue to go through the list,
we can move it down once you see how powerful the other dragons are. Yes,
that's fair.
Because the only thing in my mind that could be a redeeming quality for the white dragon is that it's more than likely to eat one of your party members before killing off everybody at once. Like, if it downed one of your players, it would probably be more likely to just outright kill them. As opposed to, like, another dragon who would be like, they're out of the way for now, but let me focus.
Yeah, but it's definitely, like, it's not going to target the spellcasters. It's going to go, the guy in the front with the big axe. I got to kill this guy.
That is fair. All right, I will put him in white. Put him in F for now. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Magic the Gathering.
Our own category.
Yep. I will. We have to put some. If we have to create a new a secondary category, we will. We on huh?
F minus.
F minus.
Just
No.
thumbs down.
Mary Beth is actually wondering if we should, at the end of finishing up one of the types, if we should choose the best dragon out of each type.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on, we're going from white to black. Black dragons to me just scare me. I don't know why. Like, I know like reds are supposed to be like the much more intense, but black dragons scare me more for some reason. They just
black dragons are interesting because they're, I would say, less threatening than a red dragon purely based on stats, but they're a lot more sadistic. They're described as kind of reveling in suffering, and specifically like the suffering of humanoid species. I will say acid is probably a better breath weapon than cold, but not by much. And they're also amphibious. So a lot of dragons are inexplicably amphibious. Because of, their long history in the water, I guess. So that is something to consider.
One thing about is, so with acid damage, does acid damage have the does any of the damages have the whole thing, like if it drops someone to 0 hit points, if it's like with acid damage, does it like when they drop to 0, do they immediately melt away? ?
No, there's there's nothing in game at least for anything like that.
I know there's like certain spells that have that caveat, and that's like a really high level, like I think like disintegrate or whatever that's called has that if it drops you to 0 and you fade away. I mean, that even though it's a breath weapon, it's still dexterity, which everyone has usually. Well, I hope when building your characters you have decent dexterity, please. So anyone really can dodge the breath weapon a bit much.
I will say it has several layer actions that I think are pretty decent.
Yeah, it has a lot of
magical darkness is really good.
Yeah.
It also has additional layer actions that are a lot around area control. And pushing people where you want them to, which is really powerful. One thing about black dragons is they are the most likely of dragon types to choose death over an unwilling defeat. And they have a strong dislike and fear of other dragons. So they're not team players.
At least not with other dragons. I know that they're generally willing to have like
minions.
Followers and minions, but they also are very careful to make sure that none of their followers are like remotely close to as powerful as they are.
No, black dragons strike me as the type who would try to have like basically slaves at their beck and call. And I think, didn't the black dragon in Vox Machina like enslave the orcs to like give them treasure?
Yeah.
I think that was the black dragon. The layer actions, I'm scrolling through all the different things. Do black dragons have spellcasting? It says right here.
No, it's not spellcasting. It's just effects that mimic certain spells.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
It's kind of like their sheer presence is so gross and nasty that they can just have these variety of corrupting effects, like a cloud of flies, or magical darkness, or a muck explosion.
It strikes me as funny as they basically choose a swampy area as like their lair. Well, everyone else is like, a cave. They just like, if they have a cave, they're gonna make it look like a swamp, or just pick a swamp. It is up to them. But yeah, no, their lair actions are pretty intense. I mean, the ones knocked you prone, like you said, the magical darkness, that is great. What does the cloud of flies do? Is it just damage? Or is it has the same effect as the frost fog thing? No, lightly obscured, just and deals damage. Higher DC to pass though, and Constitution at that, which depending on your build would be good or bad. So what are we thinking for Mr. Black Dragon here then?
I mean, we've built him a decent case, but I think he's still in D.
Yeah, I'd say high D, maybe bottom C. Maybe.
I could see him in a bottom C.
Does our tier list go all the way up to S, or is it?
Yes, it does.
Does it have an S plus?
No, just S.
Okay.
Yeah, S, A, B, C, D, and F.
Put him in D for now.
Okay.
I think
Mr. Black Dragon.
Yeah.
Only one letter grade above Mr. White, which is unfortunate. I do like Black Dragons. I had a character who was a Black Dragon board, and I just liked him a lot, but I wanted to make him like as evil as possible because why not? I killed a fairy, like a pure pure of heart fairy. Everyone was upset at me. Everyone was so pissed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it was partially on accident, but I just shook it off as why not?
Oh, you mean like the other fairy you killed? Or
That
sorry, no,
was
not,
a fairy.
no.
It's a squirrel.
Fairy folk, I guess.
No.
I don't know what
Squirrel.
they're considered.
Just straight up a squirrel.
He's sentient.
I did a video a while ago.
Poor squirrel.
I did a video a while ago on all of my favorite D&D moments, and I think I might have to do a second one because they're just
That's one of your favorite?
No, it's just funny to talk about because it's been such a long time since I accidentally killed someone. All right. But moving on.
I'd hope there
But
would
on
be a lot of
purpose.
time in
Oh,
between
not
us.
that long ago at all.
No, you kidding me? Yeah, no, it'll definitely work someone if it comes down to it. Next up is the blue dragons.
Okay.
These are scary.
Yeah, these are scary. These I think are the top of the chromatic dragons.
I have a oh.
Yeah, I think they're better than red dragons.
Oh. Interesting.
Interesting.
So I have I have a personal grudge against blue dragons because I feel like blue dragons should be water-based, not lightning-based.
How would you do that?
Oh, I'm gonna splash you.
Yeah, no, like tidal wave, like a water breath or something. I'm sorry. If you have white, that's frost. Okay, cool. Red, fire. All right, fine. That makes sense. Black is acid. Still makes sense. But I feel like the blue dragon should be like some type of water based, but it's not. It's storm or lightning based, and it's like I can see it, but it's like no, I don't know. I
think it's cool as hell.
I mean, it is dangerous. The lightning breath is absolutely terrifying alone.
Also a hard resistance to get.
Hard resistance to get? The lightning breath?
Like it is hard
as
to
a
get lightning
player.
resistance.
Oh, lightning resistance. Yes. No, that's very fair. Is lightning damage like the second hardest to get resistance for, next to force damage?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like psychic
Maybe?
damage is the hardest, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, some subclasses though just straight up give you psychic resistance.
Yeah, I think so. Like the sorcerer subclass, the mind one, whatever. I can't pronounce that.
Yeah, the aberrant mind.
Aberrant mind. Thank you. But yeah, no. Oh man, that's gonna come up later because some of the other dragons have psychic based stuff.
Yes.
So that will come up later. I'll have to go back to one of the actual. I think I did talk about what's the hardest damage to get resistance for, and I'll have to revisit those notes. What are we looking at with layer actions for these guys though? We got a terrifying lightning breath, which is for sure. There's
there's a couple other reasons. Just like taking it back to the basic stat blocks, they've got a lot higher HP. They're pretty smart. They're very strong. They've got a +9 strength, +8 con. The thing about blue dragons, beyond the lightning breath, beyond the stats, beyond lightning breath, they're tacticians. They are the ones that I was talking about that will do guerrilla warfare. They will set up the terrain around their lair to kill the party before they even get to the lair. Like, they are masters of attrition, and I think that's what makes it really scary, is you don't have to fight the dragon to be killed by it.
Yeah, no, I feel like they know better to just, oh, I'm a dragon, everyone's gonna not gonna mess with me, but let me just make myself that much more difficult to go up against. Let me just have an entire death trap of a fortress that you have to get through, and then you have to fight me.
Yes. They also like to collect powerful minions, which they will reward if they enter their service. So these can be very powerful humanoids that you have to fight before you even get to the dragon. I think the one thing that stood out to me was there was a description of a blue dragon burrowing itself in the sand near its lair to wait for like this caravan to go by so it could just eat it. It was hiding the whole time, and that's like hard to fight.
Yeah.
Okay then. No, yeah, not terrifying at all, actually. I do like having a smart enemy is something that is especially difficult for the players. Like, sure, you have something that's scary and like can pack a wall up when they attack you, but give it some smarts and then it's just so much worse, because then it doesn't turn into a can you survive this onslaught. It's a you have to outthink it on top of everything else, which is just add another thing. But what about layer actions? What does the blue dragon have for layer action stuff here?
We should know this.
Its layer actions are, I would say, not as powerful as some layer actions. Honestly, I would say the black dragon's layer actions are slightly better, because it's a lot about access, which is not necessarily like the most important thing to fight. It does have lightning arcs, which I would say is quite deadly, but it does a low amount of damage. So
yeah, but that racks up in the long run, though. Like it all adds up before,
if it happens every round.
That's one thing. The layer actions, it says that the dragon can't use the same effect 2 rounds in a row. Okay, that makes sense, but it doesn't stop them from like doing like, the sands clouds that blind you, and then they can just go back to doing lightning arcs, or one of the other additional layer actions that deal damage, and then going back. I mean, doing the blinded thing might set it up for them to have the lightning arcs be helpful. What's the other additional ones though?
A couple of them are based around illusions. One of them can give a 50% chance of a creature going the opposite way of what they intended if they hit a fork in their lair. Which is very interesting. Another one is a sinkhole-based one where it basically, a pit opens up beneath you. That's 120 feet wide, and you got to make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Love them.
That's great, honestly.
Oh, no, not 120 feet wide. Within 120 feet of the dragon, it's 5 feet wide.
Oh,
that makes more sense.
Okay.
Or 10 feet wide.
It's still a pit that you can fall down and be stuck and get blasted by its lightning breath. All right. Yes.
And become prone, too.
And become prone. Sure. And blinded. And all the things. All right. So then, where do we want to put Mr. Blue Dragon then?
I would say a high C or a low B.
I'd put it in B.
Yeah.
I'd certainly put it in B.
I think like a mid B area sounds right for Mr. Blue Dragon here. You guys are brutal with these, because like blue, like black and.
But then we're gonna get up to the gem dragons, where it's like the amethyst dragon can control the basic principles of the multiverse and shoot a gravitational beam at you and do its psionic abilities. And it's like, okay, what is a blue dragon supposed to do against any of this? Like, it's tough, but it's not multi-dimensional creature tough.
No, that's fair. That is very fair. Okay, well, we'll have to the gem dragons will have to wait because to finish the chromatics first, and next up is the green dragon.
The green dragon is another one of the ones that I think has a lot of potential to be very damaging. I believe it's the most intelligent of the chromatic dragons. Its breath attack is not great. It's poison. It's fine.
Everyone has resistance to poison.
Yeah, it's fine. They are described as being cunning tricksters, including with other dragons. Like, they will actively plot and scheme, and they have a willingness to play nice, which is very dangerous for a dragon. To be able to, like, swallow that pride, which is something they're known for, and be like, oh yeah, I'll play along, and then secretly plotting to end you or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The backstabby dragon. And and like I said, I don't want to talk about the alignment too much, but it does say that they are lawful evil, or generally lawful evil, which means that they got some morals. No, not morals, but they have some principles. Yes. I feel like they are conniving, and you might be able to like team up with the green dragon if it's going to benefit them, but also it's also one of those things where it's like you have to be careful, because maybe when the truce ends, you might become their late night snack after. So yeah, sure, work with them for now, but maybe just be ready to have a little mini boss battle afterwards, that type of deal.
Yeah. I will say they have some interesting regional effects, which isn't really something we've gotten into with the other dragons, but green dragons, I think, are very much the you can't find it unless it wants you to find it dragons. It has an ability that within a mile of its lair, the dragon leaves no physical evidence of its passage unless it wants to. And rodents and birds within a mile of its lair act as its eyes, so it can actually track people through the wildlife, which is a really unusual ability for a dragon.
That reminds me of I was playing Resident Evil, and the Resident Evil 4, the remake, and you keep seeing crows all over the place, and I keep thinking, oh, the crows are just eyes and ears and everything, and you actually find one of the pieces of lore, like one of the notebooks from the scientists, where they talk about how the crows are actually infected with the same parasite. So yes, the entire time they were actually spying on you, which to me is just fantastic, because I like, oh, well, that just makes it that much more scary and terrifying. And same with this as well, because it's literally even so do you think if the rodents and birds like start within the mile of the dragon's lair, they can potentially travel outwards from the mile and still be the eyes and ears?
I don't know. It seems like it's an effect limited to the mile around the layer. Like it's an effect of the layer, not an effect of the birds specifically.
Yeah, I was more thinking like, when it's like within the mile, the dragon has its lair set up. It basically like infects the rodents or magically affects all the rodents and birds, so that they are basically like its servants that he can use. And after it's set up, anything.
Oh, the description of that ability is horrific.
Which one?
The effect is called Twisted Messengers. The dragon could cause any tiny beast within 1 mile of its lair to act as its mouthpiece. The effect is horrendous, as the creature's throat and mouth temporarily warp into a twisted version of the dragon's own in order to allow the dragon's voice to issue forth.
That is awesome.
Oh.
So it's not like a subtle thing when it like wants you to try to come find it. It's like
that is
oh no,
awesome.
this is like the stuff of nightmares.
So you have a bunch of like little like a chipmunk or something that walks up and it whips around. It has like the snout of a dragon. Oh, that's great. Oh man, I'll have to look to see if I can find a picture of that, because that is like some great imagery right there. Oh, where'd you find that, Ben? Because that's not even in like the little thing that I have.
If you look at their descriptions, they actually also have additional layer actions aside from the standard ones.
As an adult or an ancient.
Yeah. So like one of their layer actions is that they can basically use like vines within the vicinity to create 3 like inanimate corpses. So they basically can like summon zombies in the middle of a fight to like assist them. Or like use like roots and like those kind of things to attack with them. So they seem more in tune with kind of their lair, I think, than some other ones where they, I don't know. Most of the other dragons
collapse their lair.
Yeah.
Yes, the green dragons definitely give me the whole screw with your mind type of deal, type of effect to me, which is just so good. I found this with messages of things at the very bottom. That is so cool.
I will say the layer actions aren't that strong compared to some of the like raw output ones or magical darkness ones. It's mostly like magical fog. That one is actually pretty good though, because that can charm you if you fail the saving throw. But it looks like pretty standard just area of controlled effects.
And controlling effects can be frustrating. And it all.
I also think it's probably the most likely to be able to escape in the middle of a fight with all of its abilities. Like,
that is fair.
It could disappear like that.
Oh well, yeah, they're the ones that like if they're losing a fight, they'll leave.
Yeah.
Bye. I don't want to
deal with you anymore. And you can give them the spell casting, so they have the capacity for invisibility or mass suggestion if you really want them to.
If you want to make them just that much more frustrating. All right.
Yes, if any chromatic dragon would naturally have spell casting, it would be the green ones.
Oh yeah.
So where do we want to put the green dragon then?
I kind of want to put it in a B. I feel like this is a lot more like interesting than a lot of the like original base dragons. I feel like there's a lot that you can do with them. Although
That's
if
true.
we're talking from like purely on a power scale, this dragon, like if it doesn't have the ability to escape, it's not gonna beat out
Yeah.
like a blue dragon or a red dragon. It's just not gonna win that fight.
So one thing that I do like about the green dragon is it has a lot of good like role playing like setup, because it provides a lot of stress to the player, in the sense that it is screwing with the player's mind with the controlling type of layer actions, the fact that once the players find out, oh, it can see us no matter where we are, and things like that. Even the Mighty Nine, nope, not the Mighty Nine, even Vox Machina had the hard time dealing with the said green dragon, because it was conniving and backstabbed the chromatic conclave at the end, and it actually escaped. So even when the big bad red dragon died, the green dragon was the only one left alive, because it knew better. Well, didn't work out, time for plan B.
Yeah, which I think is to their strength, but also their detriment, because if they are constantly ready to cut and run, they're not going to fight battles that they could win.
Oh, sure, yeah.
No, I can see that. But hey, you know what? I feel like it's sometimes better to be cautious than overly ambitious.
I'm gonna say a high C. Like, these guys are very interesting. There's a lot of potential, but like raw physicality, raw like ability to fight, it's a little less than a lot of the other dragons.
I'd agree with that. I would either keep it at the high C or continue to like probably under some of the other ones in B. But I'm fine to put it in C.
All right. I will keep it. I will put it in the high C. And now it's time for, I want to say most common, because I feel like when everyone's talking about dragons or whatnot, majority of the time it is a red dragon. So let's get on with our big beefy boy here, because I think it has the most health to start with that, correct?
Yes, it does. It has the highest strength as well.
Mm-hmm. Intelligence is not as smart as and the dex isn't great either, to be honest.
I think it has the highest charisma as well.
I don't know about that. I
think green might be a bit higher.
Green was higher, I believe, maybe.
Green has a 19
no.
charisma.
Green doesn't?
That's interesting.
Oh.
Blue has a 21. And red has a 23.
Huh. Alrighty
That's
then.
really interesting.
So we have a charismatic dragon.
In fairness, though, their charismas can be very easily overshadowed by their arrogance.
Yeah.
Red dragons are very
their charisma's more about like sheer
Their
strength
presence.
of their presence instead of like actually being that likable.
Yeah.
I like them.
I'm gonna be honest. Red dragons are scary, but they're not as scary as blue dragons in any way, because they're not out to get you before you're actually fighting them.
They have.
Would you rather go toe to toe with a red dragon or a blue dragon? Like
I would say red dragon.
Really?
The health pool is terrifying.
I know it's a lot higher. I think it's a lot easier to get resistance to fire damage than it is to lightning damage.
Fair.
And part of that fire damage is also like blue dragons can kind of chain attacks and hit more than one person at a time, where red dragons, unless you're like positioned really poorly, you can usually reduce that. I do think they're scary though. Like don't get me wrong.
The layer effects might sway me.
There's one thing. Isn't like lava overly overpowered for some reason?
Oh, it does a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah. The fact that this sucker his layer is gonna have like one of the layer actions is magma erupts from a point on the ground that the dragon can see. And then the geyser can cause damage to the person, but then you have potentially a pool of magma just hanging around, and for some reason
it only does 10d10 fire damage.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's a DC 15 dex save. That's not bad. I actually think its worst basic layer action is the volcanic gases, because it's a 20-foot sphere, and it's DC 13 con, which is not hard to make, but if you are poisoned by it, you are incapacitated.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
You can move still, correct? Yeah.
No, you're knocked out.
No, you are like,
no,
you can't do shit.
It just says incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
Well, yeah, because actions considered like bonus actions and movement. Like you can't do anything.
Oh.
You can't act.
I mean, okay. I'll trust you too on this. To me, all I see is I can't. I mean, it doesn't even say bonus action either. Hold on, let me click on it. Let me see if there is like more in-depth.
I will say, regional effects, they're pretty standard, except for the opening a rift into the elemental plane of fire. That's pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
My hometown.
Yeah.
My goodness, I love that.
But I think one of the big things with red dragons is their pride is their weakness. Like, they could be as tough as they want, but if they're goaded into a fight they can't win, they're still going to go into it.
I feel like with red dragons though, they also have like a very like that charismatic presence. Like they attempt to strike fear into the hearts of people, as well as try to command like everything, because yes, it does think it's great, but it uses that charisma to just look at me, follow me, or you all will be destroyed type of deal. That type of deal.
Yeah. Which I think is in the long term a lot less beneficial for it than some other personality traits. That could be equally as evil.
Yeah, no. What you looking at there, Ben?
Some of its regional effects are very interesting. Fiery sense. The dragon can hear up to 30 feet through any open flame within a mile of its lair.
Interesting.
So if you're walking into like a volcano or something and you're taking a dark passage, you've got to light a torch. It can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Just here, though.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but like, still, like, you got to strategize or something.
Just make sure your entire party has dark vision, and you'll be okay. I mean, that's not too hard in some cases.
Fair.
Yeah. Like, they are powerful. I don't know how powerful they are, though. Like, I definitely feel somewhere in B.
I definitely would not put it in A. I'm just trying to reconcile whether or not, because I'm looking at its additional layer actions as well, and they're not like.
They're not great.
No, I mean, so there's.
I think its worst layer action is the volcanic gas one, and that's pretty situational.
I will say that its additional layer actions I think are interesting, and if you're strategic with it, you might be able to slowly like chain them. Like, for example, if you used noxious smoke, which has a higher con save, and you get a creature to be poisoned, and then you start oh no, that's only ability rolls or ability checks and attack rolls. Never mind. So saving throws aren't affected by being poisoned. Yeah. I really want them to be better than blue.
But they're not.
But as long as they don't have spellcasting. I think their spellcasting is probably the worst. Spellcasting. They have suggestion, power word, stun, hypnotic pattern, heat metal, dominate person.
Yeah.
All of those are really bad.
Well then, that's and a spell save of 21. Oh. Yeah.
That being said, I don't think we've really dipped too heavily into spellcasting for the dragon so far. So I'm fine to put it below blue.
In B?
But close. Yes.
Yeah,
it's not an A dragon. I love red dragons. It's not an A dragon.
No. I think it was when like initially dragons came out, but now like there's been a lot of power creep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the Tarask? I feel like Tarask is a lot more terrifying than the red dragon.
Also notably not a dragon though.
I know. I was just bringing up the Tarask, that's all.
Yeah.
Or purple.
Yeah, I'm good with B, but just a little bit beneath
all right.
blue.
Yeah. But that does put us we are done with all the chromatics. So then what is the best chromatic dragon then?
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red
no argument
right
there.
Blue
red
from
dragons?
a combat perspective.
Oh, absolutely. From a roleplay perspective, I think green is the best.
Hands down. Green is the best for roleplay.
I agree.
Unless you're really wanting to play a dumb dragon, then go for white.
The starter dragon.
Yeah. I would also say from like a PC perspective, if you wanted a PC to have an entanglement in relation to a dragon, I think the most interesting would be a green dragon. Like have something like that in your background. Like those
because green dragons would also be the most likely to actually come back and be like, hey, about that favor you owe me.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
All right. No, I agree. So best
I think though, red dragons are tyrants, blue dragons are generals. And I think that's what the difference is.
Yeah. That's fair. I would be very curious to see what the stats would be on how often another one would come out on top if they were to go head to head regularly.
Yeah.
The way you just described that just just sparked a memory in the back of my mind, and I don't know why, but that makes total sense about the general, about the blue being the general. Like, the dragon is like the red dragon is like commanding king, but like the blue dragon being the general is like the terrifying right hand that you don't want to mess with.
The blue dragon is in the fucking trenches.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
well, we'll put Mr. Blue Dragon, you or Mrs. Excuse me. We will put you at the best chromatic dragon. Congratulations. Take your award. Come see me. Come talk to me. Don't eat me. But moving on, we want to knock the gems out. You want to talk about the gems?
No,
get
gems
out of the
last.
way. Gems last.
Gems last.
All right. Moving on to the metallics, and starting with the copper dragon. Ben.
Yeah.
You gotta. Don't be biased, Ben.
I
thought it was brass that you have beef with.
I do. I mean, the copper's not that much better.
I will say, this is the first dragon on the list so far that has 2 different breaths, which is fun.
Yes.
Which is very fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
You got the slowing breath, and you also got acid breath as well.
Yeah, they've got all right health. The acid breath and slowing breath are very interesting. I would say the slowing breath is fine. Like, it is powerful compared to some of the other ones. It's fine. I think for me the most interesting thing about the copper dragon is the roleplay potential. Because they're fairly charismatic, fairly smart, and they are described as jokesters with surprisingly thin skins. And I think that's an incredible archetype for a very powerful character.
That's funny, actually. I see it now. That is actually really funny. Oh, so they're and riddlers too. Oh, so you have like a sometimes like a. Oh man. So a copper dragon would have its lair like as an escape room.
Yeah. You know what? That would be fantastic.
You walk in and you're like locked into a little room, and like the little crappy TV screen pops on explaining the like barely improvised story. Oh, that's great. This is also the first dragon that can all dragons, or at least ancient dragons, shape change?
All of the
metallic ones.
Yeah, all the metallic ones.
And the gem ones.
I was gonna say, because there's been numerous times where I've had different DMs, including Mary Beth, having even chromatic dragons shape change to look like a human. The green dragon was in Critical Role, also shape changed into a human. But the metallic dragons, the copper dragon here specifically does have changed shape as one of the abilities. So I just want to know if that is that something that is exclusive, or is it just like, oh, they can, but why would they? Yeah.
Well, some metallic dragons have more of a fondness for it than others as well. I don't think they're particularly powerful, copper dragons at least. They do have an additional layer action that's just called laughing gas, and I think that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, the copper dragons are Joker.
Or like the Riddler, I think.
They'd be so annoying to fight.
Combination?
It would be so annoying to fight them.
Like, not only are you having to fight a dragon, not only does it have laughing gas, but it's going to tell you puns the whole time. It really genuinely hurt if you don't laugh at them.
That's great, actually. Oh man, I'll have to keep that in mind, because that is gold.
Have you seen its regional effects?
Which one? Which one?
Okay, so magic carvings of the dragon's smiling visage can be seen worked into stone and objects within 6 miles.
6 miles! Yes!
Of the dragon's lair. Tiny beasts and rodents basically have the ability to speak and understand Draconic within a mile. and then intelligent creatures within 1 mile of the dragon's lair are prone to fits of giggling. Which is so obnoxious.
It's a joke dragon, but it's a really good joke dragon.
This is great. How come we've never talked about copper dragons before? These guys are great. I think copper dragons might be my new favorite dragon.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right then. All right. So where are we putting the copper dragon?
I feel like copper dragons are low C.
I was gonna say C as well. Ben,
maybe high D.
I was gonna stick him in D. If you guys want to put him in C, as long as they're not better than the green dragon.
We'll put him below the green dragon.
Definitely below the green dragon. I honestly only want them in C because there's so much potential for like a really interesting boss in the terms of it's so goofy.
Part of having a good final boss fight, there's a lot of different aspects, but it's got to be able to be entertaining as well as frustrating. So you got to have some, and this, I feel like this would be the annoying entertaining side of things that I so much enjoy. Like the anime.
Oh, also, a copper dragon is wary when showing off its possessions. If it knows that another creature seeks a specific item in its hoard, a copper dragon will not admit to possessing the item. Instead, it might send curious treasure hunters on a wild goose chase to search for the object, while it watches from afar for its own pleasure.
Oh, I love that. All right, we are putting you in low C, Mr. Copper Dragon, but you are now my favorite dragon. Congratulations. I will start figuring out how to work that into the next one shot. All right, next up is the bronze dragons.
Definitely less interesting than copper dragons.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why we started with copper. If I had known, we would have started with bronze or something else.
A little bit stronger, amphibious for some reason, so that's fun. I think one of the biggest things for them is the lightning breath and immunity. That's a big one, and they're described as adventurous and like willing to pick sides and like throw down when it feels it knows which side to pick. So I think like this dragon being very active when it's making decisions is something to consider.
I'm getting the vibe that all the metallic dragons are a bit more built out for like role-playing stuff. That's interesting.
They're good. They're less likely to just kill the party.
Yeah.
Which, you can talk to them.
Yeah, which is honestly I know that combat is a big part of D&D. I do thrive on role-playing. So when approaching like something that could potentially turn into a fight, it's always nice to know that, hey, there is an option that you could talk your way out of this. And then the feeling of sigh of relief of, I managed to just absolutely slip by, just convincing. It's just a good feeling. I do like the repulsion breath because I feel like that could be dangerous if there's like if it's like near some cliffs or holes or whatever, because you're blown away 60 feet.
So they typically, if you look at what their layers normally are, they're typically coastal caves, like with wrecked ships and those kind of things. But like, you know,
it's a pirate dragon.
Yeah, if your party is on a ship and it comes over and just everybody off the side of the ship.
Well, actually, bronze dragons are said to enjoy watching ships traveling near its lair and will actually take the form of dolphins or seagulls to watch them. And on occasion, if it sees something on the boat it wants, it will transform back into a dragon and barter with the now terrified captain for the items.
Oh my gosh, it really is a pirate dragon. I love that.
Its initial layer actions are very underwhelming, but the additional layer actions are fairly good. My favorite is Ocean's Call, where the dragon conjures a swarm of spectral dolphins.
Yes! Come to me, my brethren. Come watch the show. Oh wait, they do damage. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They're murder dolphins.
They're murder dolphins.
But
I
they're
mean,
still dolphins.
dolphins are murder dolphins in general, anyways. So
I'm curious about what on a dolphin does slashing damage.
teeth, I guess.
I guess.
Teeth. I don't know. Maybe
They're fins.
they're
obviously.
fins.
Yeah, they're fleshy fins.
Yeah.
It just the dolphin pops up and is like, all right, I'm gonna do some slashing damage. And you're like, it can't explain how. It just pulls out a knife. It's like, all right, here I come.
You know what? I like the mental image of this like spectral dolphin biker gang with like a bunch of knives strapped to their fins.
They roll up on their Harleys, and they're like, all right, let's go. Let's throw down.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I would say fighting wise, they're all right. Roleplay wise, they're quite interesting because they are so active and like they want to oppose evil. And will seek it out.
Okay. So what are we thinking then for the letter grade? I am getting D vibes from him. Is everything
Yeah.
Another amusing dragon, not as amusing as the copper, but
Yeah.
It's
like if you, the party needs a really tough ally for like 2 sessions, they'll just find a bronze dragon. But like I think beyond that, they're not as interesting as a lot of the other dragons or as powerful.
No. And their alternate breath attack is kind of
fine.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it can be non-lethal, but that's also a deficit.
This guy strikes me as the non-lethal type of dragon. Like, oh, I'm just gonna play with you, and then, no.
He'll be like, huzzah, my dolphin gang.
Yes. So above or below the black dragon in D then?
I would say below. Black dragons have really good layer actions.
Yeah.
All right. Bronze dragon below black dragon. All right. Moving on. Ben, I do want you to start because I want to know, what is your beef with brass dragons?
I think their alternate breath weapon is stupid.
A sleep breath? Wait, why is a sleep breath stupid?
So good.
I think it's dumb.
Why is a sleep breath weapon dumb?
They're
That's terrifying.
stupid, but that's fine.
No, they're not. Their intelligence is fairly decent.
Okay, but literally they're described as being so into talking to people, they will be best friends with otherwise evil people because they enjoy talking, and will, like, if you try to get out of having small talk with this dragon, they will hunt you down and take you back to its lair to do more small talk.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they give me like grandpa vibes.
Yes, that is what,
like.
So I was.
That's not who I want to go on an adventure with.
So I was about to describe. There was a recurring character in the Animaniacs who kind of always just talked like this, and he always would find the most boring thing to really talk about. Because yesterday I found a really interesting mole underneath my left foot, and I kind of thought it might have been cancerous, so I had to go to the doctor, but he said it was just fine. So anyways, on my way home, I was... I'm killing myself. But that's like this. That is what it strikes me as when you're talking. He likes to talk.
I feel like there is a interesting way to portray a brass dragon. I have yet to see that executed, personally.
I've never had a brass dragon in any of the campaigns I've played in. When I was reading through this entry, though, I was imagining like a very, very, like a really excited dog that doesn't really get its own size or power, but really wants to like play with someone. I'm kind of getting that vibes of like just really overexcited to the point of like, well, you are kidnapping people. That's not great.
Ooh.
So the way that I saw this was that this is either A, the creepy stalker, or the guy who wants to be in the friend group but isn't.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, these are some good vibes. Hey.
His alternate breath is literally like date rape drug.
Oh. Oh, Ben.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay, but it is really powerful. I would say, like, of
Sure.
the breath weapon, like, we have to not discount that just because it's kind of cringe.
Well, yes. That's why I think it's dumb. It's so strong. I feel like there should be an HP threshold.
Okay,
Like, if a creature fails the save and is under like X amount of hit points, or like it affects up to X amount of hit points for like total creatures, because like a 90-foot cone, and they're all unconscious for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
10 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but you can wake them up.
That's why it's dumb.
You can wake them up. Okay.
Yeah, but if everybody's unconscious.
So you're mad at the brass dragon because its sleep breath is just OP.
He's the guy who got rejected from the frat group, the frat party, but still comes and is the guy you have to watch in case he steals people.
Ah.
A little bit.
Okay then.
I do like some of the effects, like the regional effects, like everyone's super talkative.
That's
Yeah.
gosh, that has some indications that oh no.
Yeah. I think it's not a very powerful dragon, like aside from the sleep breath.
I was just looking over. It has only 297 hit points.
Yeah.
It is a weak boy.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Like, because again, this has some really nice like role playing applications, but he's like eh.
I feel like another good a vibe for the brass dragons would be like retired university lecturer who clearly really misses it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is that like the type of dragon that is like it has done an adventure, but now it just like potentially talks to other adventures.
Glory days.
This is the glory days, yeah.
Some adventurers will come across its like lair and it'll be like, oh, kids, have you heard about the time I was in the party that defeated Garthalox the Red?
I know. When I was a young dragon.
I used to be an adventurer like you once.
100 years ago. You should still know about it. I think that's a fun interpretation. I definitely think they're not a very powerful dragon, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel very comfortable putting them in D or, like, even E.
So E's don't exist on the tier list.
It's just D to F, I think.
Yeah, it is D to F.
I know the order of the alphabet.
No, it's because teachers don't use E, so because have you ever gotten an E on a paper or something before?
No, but my sister has in elementary school.
Actually?
What?
Listen, the American education system has stopped wanting to make some kids feel bad about their grades, so they, rather than having letter grades, they have like E for excellent, or like, I don't know, it's weird.
That doesn't count. No.
I would feel comfortable putting it above the white dragon, but like it's the white dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think that if these dragons were to go toe to toe, that the brass dragon has the chance to come out on top.
Okay, let me do. So let's say
if the white dragon fails its con check.
Yeah. That alone.
Which is possible.
So ancient white dragon. Let's see. What's our boy's constitution? Our constitution is really high. It's 26, so it's +8. 21 saving throw. 21 saving throw. Yes. Yeah, no, it could. Oh, where's my dice? Oh no, my dice are immediately in front of me.
It also has fire breath. So
yeah,
well, fairly well against a white dragon.
He could knock out the white dragon and then just like set itself up for, and if it recharges its breath, it could just keep doing that and just get free hits. Interesting.
It'll talk the white dragon to death.
That's an option.
This reminds me of the time when I.
It is an option. That is like a matchup that I wanted to have. That'd be fun. All right. Well, moving on. Next are the silver dragons.
It's a good dragon. Like,
yeah,
maybe the best we've seen so far.
Interesting. Explain.
I do like silver dragons.
Oh well, the paralyzing breath. That is a 24
yeah
saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Were you paralyzed?
All
right.
High HP. A pretty decent stat array with a +10 strength, which is what the red dragon has.
Oh, does it have the same charisma as a red dragon? I think it does. Hold on.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another charismatic dragon. Another super
I will
charismatic
say
dragon.
its layer actions aren't very good.
What we got for layer
fog
actions?
Cloud.
And then blistering cold winds. Okay, what about the additional layer effects?
There's only one.
What's the only additional? Icy grip. A sudden supernatural chill fills the lair near the dragon. Each creature of the dragon's choice it can see within 120 feet must succeed in a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be restrained. Okay.
Yeah. Silver dragons, I think what makes them interesting is the paralyzing cone breath, but also the fact that they're probably the most moral of the dragons we've seen so far, and they're very friendly to humanoids. Like, explicitly friendly to humanoids, which makes them a really good NPC to have if you're wanting to include a dragon.
All right, then. Does it have is it like regional effects a bit less harsh? Once per day, it can alter the weather within a 6-mile radius. Boys, non-evil creatures that fall. So basically it's like feather fall.
Yeah.
In a 6-mile radius, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is. There's a footnote right here that says it has respect for humanity.
Yeah, respect for humanity, friends of small races, dragons of virtue. Like
they're pretty like paladin.
It's Parthenax.
Yeah, paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I shall do good, but like not in the I'm gonna go fight some bad guys way that some of the other metallic dragons are. They're just like, I like doing good. Not sure what I'm gonna do though, but it'll be good.
Parthenax.
Yeah.
Yes.
From Skyrim.
Yeah. That's exactly. Ah, yes, I'm a good dragon. I'm going to sit on top of my mountain and not do anything. And then inadvertently get murked by the dragonborn because the Greybeards commanded it.
I don't think that's what happened, but
I've never beaten the game before.
Hey,
I don't know.
Neither have I. Oh,
like
no, don't give
in
me
the
that
game,
look.
don't
I
you?
get so distracted with all of the side missions and everything.
No judgment.
I think these guys would be like a mid B, maybe a high B.
Oh,
I'd be comfortable in B.
really? I thought you guys were going to put them much lower than a B.
No, they're fairly powerful, and
do we have
like,
anything in A?
We don't have anything in A.
No.
Nothing yet. We have
I feel like if they're in A, they're like the bottom of A.
It's bottom A. We'd be putting a lot of other stuff.
You'll be putting the silver dragon above blue dragon if you put them in A. And if you put them in B, would you put them above?
Oh, that's true.
Would you put them above blue dragons?
No, I wouldn't.
Can we put the blue dragon in bottom A?
I think we should.
And then
yeah,
we'll
I think
put
we
the
should.
silver dragon
Top B.
of B.
Okay. First correction. I was wondering when that was going to happen. I'll read through the list again to make sure we're comfortable with where everything is at. But silver dragon is in top of B and blue dragon bottom of A. And the last question Last last metallic dragon is the gold dragon.
Oh my god.
What?
This one's so busted.
Go on.
It has the highest HP out of any of the metallic dragons. It's weakening breath. It isn't like the sleep breath or the paralyzing breath. It's still pretty darn good. 90-foot cone again, DC 24 strength saving throw. But it impacts impacts strength stuff, so it's really devastating for a melee character, but not the rest of them. The thing about the gold dragon, though, is one of its layer actions, the dragon glimpses the future.
What?
And so has advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws until initiative count 20 on the next round.
Yeah, it's
what? That?
Yeah.
Wait.
Read the next one.
One
creature. One creature the dragon can see within 120 feet of it must succeed on a DC 15 charisma saving throw or be banished to a dream plane, a different plane of existence the dragon has imagined into being.
How does it have these abilities?
It's a gold dragon, baby.
But what does it I'm scrolling. Does it explain why it does this? Oh, it eats all of their gold, and jewels and everything. Yep. Okay, gold dragons are respected by others for their wisdom and fairness. Okay, but why can it do these things? It doesn't.
It's just one of the things it can do.
It doesn't say. It just is like this.
Its additional layer action is called Beguiling Glow. And it's a warm light in a 30-foot sphere that each creature in the area must succeed a DC 15 wisdom throw or be charmed by the dragon until the start of the next round.
Oh, yay.
I feel like I would never use
so either you get charmed, it has advantage on everything, or you get banished to a realm in its dreams.
Oh my gosh. Look at one of the regional effects, Liar's revelation. Within 6 miles of the dragon's lair, any creature attempting to tell a deliberate lie must succeed on a DC 15 charisma saving throw or find itself accidentally revealing the truth it was attempting to conceal. Oh my gosh.
But it can only happen once because the first time a creature fails the saving throw, it is immune to the effect for the next 24 hours.
Okay, that is nice, but man, that could suck. That could suck because they could try to hide the wrong thing. I like that.
What was it? The copper dragons? No. Which one was the sailor dragon? The good one.
I believe that was the bronze.
The bronze, yeah.
The bronze one.
What was it? What was it about the
bronze one? Unfailing faithfulness. Sapient creatures that spend a year within 10 miles of the dragon's lair find it nearly impossible to break a promise. You just can't ever go back on your word ever.
That's really not bad either.
Yeah, and here they value fairness and justice over their personal feelings.
Yeah.
That's not bad either.
If you find a gold dragon, you can do villain rehabilitation.
Yes.
That's great.
That is pretty good.
I would also say some of its other regional effects, whenever a creature that can understand a language sleeps or enters a state of trance within 6 miles of the dragon's lair, the dragon can establish a telepathic contact with that creature and converse with it in its dreams. The creature remembers its conversation with the dragon upon waking.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Sure.
Hey, how's it doing? Having a good sleep? Yeah, that's good.
At least I'm not being banished to its dreams.
What? Why is
So I think this dragon is an S. I think this is our first S.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The gold dragon gets the S? That's not cliche at all.
It literally glimpses the future.
So
and gets advantage on everything for a round, and then it can do it again in a round.
So the gold dragon is giving me the same sense, is giving me the same feeling that Five Nights at Freddy's does. Oh, the animatronics want to kill you. Why does they want to kill you? Why can they do all these things? There's nothing that explains it. What?
It's a fucking gold dragon. It doesn't need to explain itself to you.
Oh, they shoved a child's soul into the animatronic. So why does it do all these things that it can do?
Because it banishes you to its dream realm. Duh.
But
I don't see what's so complicated.
But why? It just has this power? Just like that?
It does a lot of mushrooms. I don't know.
Oh no, it eats its treasure.
It's opened its mind to the possibilities.
It eats all, oh my gosh. It eats all of its treasure. So all I can think of is that it just amassed a bunch of magical power or something.
You know what? Yeah, sure. If you need an explanation.
I do. I really do. That's just how I work.
Anyway, our good old gold friend is going in S, unless
Yes.
anyone objects.
No, I don't. However, and
Oh, and it's also fucking amphibious. Okay.
wait,
What?
does it
It's amphibious.
does it
So it
fly?
can breathe air and water.
Yeah.
Does it have the fastest fly speed as well?
80 feet? I don't know.
Yeah, a red dragon's
it's
only
30.
40. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, but silver dragons are also 80, so I think it
Yeah,
might be the
blue
metallic
dragons
dragons
have
are a little
80.
bit faster.
Okay. Yeah,
Or
that,
some of the
blue
higher
dragons
tier
have
ones.
that makes sense that the metallic dragons are faster than chromatic. Yeah, no. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know what you
I
can
think
do
you're just looking
against
at the
the
wrong-
banishment into the dream realm.
40 feet.
Red dragons have 80 feet of flying speed. 40 feet of normal speed of when they're walking. And then a climb. I don't know why you would want to use a climbing speed when you have a fly speed of 80.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I see the climb speed. Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry. I was looking at the climb speed, not the yeah, I don't know why maybe because they want to like hang on top of a ceiling and wait for something to just drop on it. Anyways,
Maybe.
that is the last metallic dragon. So, what is the best metallic dragon?
Okay.
What?
Gold.
Gold.
Gold, just like that.
I will say personal favorite is, I think, probably the copper.
Yes!
Simply because we're just little tricksters.
I love
but
the copper. The copper is my
Actually,
favorite.
best dragon gold.
The copper is my favorite, honestly. That makes me so happy. I can't believe we've never talked about copper dragons before because that just makes me so happy. All right, well, gold dragons, gold star for you because you're the best, apparently.
And our first S.
Our first S. All the awards. Well, the time has come. It is time to talk about the lovely gem dragons, and the order that I have it in here is the amethyst dragon first.
Okay, so the gem dragons are all ridiculous.
In what
bit.
way?
They have pretty high HP across the board. They're all amphibious, I guess.
Yep.
They only have one breath weapon, but they're all like looking at the amethyst here. Singularity breath. The dragon creates a shining bead of gravitational force in its mouth, then releases the energy in a 90-foot cone. Each creature must make a DC 23 strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 63 force damage and its speed becomes 0 until the start of the dragon's next turn. That's pretty busted. And then spellcasting, psionics. So just innate spellcasting of a bunch of really powerful spells.
Global
and they can change shape
invulnerabilities.
and psychic step away.
Oh, I did this out of order because the description immediately below that says the amethyst dragons are the mightiest of the gem dragons.
And
Oops.
blink, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Ancient dragon with blink would be so annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. But each of them, it's only once per day. Because it's psionic
true.
instead of
Yeah.
spell list. But they do have globe of invulnerability and plane shift. And sending, I guess, if you need that.
Sure. Okay. But look at this. It goes into many times are fascinated by the existence of other worlds in the material plane. It actually talks about why the dragon might potentially have these different types of abilities. It explains it. It explains it, but it doesn't for the gold dragon. It doesn't for the sorry.
Yeah.
It can
So
spellcast as a legendary action.
No way.
Yeah.
Bonus action: the dragon magically teleports to an unoccupied space it can see within 60 feet. Just bonus action. Just sprinkling that in there.
Sure. Yeah, he just bounces all over the place. What do we got for layer actions and where's the layer actions? There it is.
3 layer actions. One of them is a DC 15 charm action.
Nice.
And the charm obeys the dragon to the best of its ability that isn't directly harmful to the creature that is charmed. And then the dragon casts the Force Cage spell.
Sure. What?
Yeah. And then spatial projection. The dragon chooses a space it can fit into within the layer. It exists in its own space and the chosen space simultaneously until initiative count 20 on the next turn. Whenever it moves or takes an action, it chooses which version of itself is moving or acting.
Oh, it's an Echo Knight.
Dude. Yeah.
That's awesome.
An Echo Knight dragon. An Echo Knight space dragon. This is great. I love this. I would love to fight this.
Sarcasm.
And it just has so much about like its regional effects. It can just cast
background check
lore on stuff on anything around it.
Once per day.
Yeah, but that's still a 5th level spell once per day.
I will say something that is just a personal thing I like about them is Amethyst dragons are like super against farm realm intrusions into the material plane, but they are strangely fascinated by and fond of flumps, and I like this.
Hannah, I had a D&D for the end of the year. I had a D&D live stream. It was a quiz show, and one of the final mini games was I gave all the contestants a drawing board and just gave them the name of a creature, and they had to try to draw said creature, and I told them to draw a flump, and I love
that's really great.
One of them drew the flump as like a cosmic looking bunny. It was hilarious.
Yeah, so what are you guys thinking about ranking for this one? Because
this is high. This has to this is first of all,
this is S.
First of all,
it's S, but is it better than the gold dragon?
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the spell casting.
Ben, why wouldn't it be higher than the gold?
As good as some of that stuff is, considering the saves that the Ancient Dragon can do, it more than likely can save against a majority of those spells. And in addition to that, its ability to see into the future means every other turn it has advantage on everything. All the time. Like, every other turn.
I agree. But I think specifically with the Amethyst Dragons, the spells are less about damage. They're more about the Amethyst Dragon, like freedom of movement. Then it is about actually damaging. So in this case, I would say the gold dragon's really high resistance is an advantage, wouldn't be as helpful.
So what you're
I suppose so.
So what you're saying is we need to throw the amethyst dragon, the ancient amethyst dragon, and the ancient gold dragon into a ring and have a dragon fight and see which one comes out on top.
I mean, with their alignments, though, they probably wouldn't fight.
I mean, that's fair.
They'd be like, comrade, yes, I understand. Oh, these glorious little creatures, they're called flumps.
All right.
I would say right below. Like,
it's
above.
so close. It's so close.
It's so close.
Do we need a tiebreaker?
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay, 2 seconds. Simply
based on the lore, the Amethyst Dragons, because they are like not always on the material plane, I think they have an advantage in that sense as well.
I'm taking a look at some of their stuff. I think the gold dragon would win just with its weakening breath.
Oh, but that's it only weakens strength-based things though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the majority of the damage that the ancient amethyst dragon is going to do, it's going to be based off of its like attacks.
That's true.
And if
Yeah.
it's weak, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have proficiency in strength saves.
You know what? Yeah, I will agree with you. I think it's below.
Below then? Okay.
Yeah, just below though. It's a tough.
There's
tough
also a
motherfucker.
100 HP differential between them.
That is very fair. I was going to say if we were still if we needed a tiebreaker, I was going to have one of our other resident DMs come in and put in her opinion.
Vote?
Her vote, yes.
Sounds like you figured it out.
We figured it out. Thank you very much.
Yes, we did.
All right. Anyways, so Amethyst Dragon below Gold Dragon.
Yes.
So sorry.
Very good.
You are still amazing. You made it into the S rank. And my guess is you might make it as the best gem dragon, but we will talk about that later. But you did good. You did good, chap. Hit the showers.
Oh, they do have force/psychic resistance though.
What?
The amethyst dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think that changes it, but is pretty good.
Oh, those are really good to have.
Okay. Next up in the gem dragons is the crystal dragon.
I mean, they're good, but they're no amethyst dragon.
No.
But it can cast
really low hit points.
It can cast not as low. Oh, it is actually really low.
I think it's
really
lower
low.
than the white dragon.
Was it? No. What was the other one that had really low?
The brass.
The brass, yeah, had really low.
Than the brass.
It is lower than the brass, but it can cast dancing light and guidance at will.
At will. The only thing about this one that I think is good is some of its layer actions, because it's kind of like passive damage, like you stumble into it and then you take a decent amount of radiant.
Oh,
really good. Its breath weapon is really
the
good.
The breath weapon explains why it has low HP. Oh,
yeah. It gains 25 temp HP every time it uses its breath weapon.
Oh, that is interesting.
It's a little luck based, but I mean, over the course of a combat, it could
make up a lot of HP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it would really depend on how much burst damage a party can do.
Oh yeah.
I think if it was fighting another dragon, but
no.
No, yeah, it would kind of lose. A group, it would have fun with the group though. I was looking at something. Crystal Dragon also has that beguiling whisper layer action that lets them charm.
I believe all of the gem dragons do.
Interesting.
Ice Passage is
It can.
Yeah, it's good movement, but it would be the same if you had tunneling.
Yeah.
Which
can dig.
Does it have a?
Does it have tunneling?
It has a burrow speed.
It has a wait. Why does it have? Wait, hold on. Was this?
I mean, I guess. What is it? Burrowing through like a wall of ice, I guess, is a little bit different than like digging through the ground, but.
Dragon
I will say it's one layer action that is impressive is the Starlight's Gleam, because attack rolls made against the outline creature have advantage, and the creature can't hide or benefit from being invisible.
So Fairy Fire.
That's yeah, but it's just a layer action. So I think that's pretty good, and it does damage. But I would say this is not a top dragon by any means.
It can cast a clairvoyance spell, I guess.
Oh, good news, everyone. Any creature that finishes a long rest within 6 miles gains 2 additional hit dice. This really makes the difference.
Okay. Thriving wildlife. Animal population flourish within 6 miles of the all layer. Ability checks made to forage for food, hunting, fishing, and trapping are made with advantage. If the dragon dies, the animal population near the lair returns to normal levels over the course of 1d10 days. The increased hit die recovery ends immediately. The existing abundance of quartz crystal remains, but new crystals form at a normal rate. Okay. Sorry.
I would say the one thing this dragon might be good at is escaping if it needed to, because it has invisibility, it has hypnotic pattern, it has psychic step. Like, it's not going to win a battle, but it might get out of it. I don't see this being any higher than a D, though.
I agree.
What do we have in F tier? What do we have in F tier?
Brass and white. Brass being top
This
of
has
F
healing,
tier.
though, every time it attacks.
Yeah, then that is really good. I would put it
But
in.
does that make up for... I mean, okay, so it would have to achieve its breath weapon 3 times to make up that HP difference.
Hold on.
And it has a
Yeah.
1 in 3 chance after using it.
No, I think it belongs...
Hold on.
It's better than a white dragon.
Let's take the chance. Let's take the chance right now. So
It's the white dragon of gem dragons.
it's the white dragon of gem dragons. That's rough. Okay, so would you say it needs to achieve its breath weapon 3 times? Was that what you said, for it to be like actually effective?
Yeah.
More or
Well,
less.
so it would have it the first time. So it needs to technically achieve it 2 more times.
Okay.
It's like a 1 in 9.
Well, that's a 2. So it didn't do it then.
Yeah.
That's a 2. Okay, maybe not then. That's a 2. Okay, maybe I shouldn't just use this dice. This is my Rick and Morty
Oh
dice.
no, my novelty all 2s dice. How could this happen?
I have no idea. Okay, never mind. All right, so then yeah, no.
I don't know if it's better than the white dragon. I think the layer actions for the white dragon, on top of like the difference in its
They're
power.
average. The charmed layer action is nice. Don't know. I don't understand the
I
ice
think
passage.
this one. I think this one's just a little bit better because of the spell casting, because of the psychic step. It can change shape. Not that I think
Yeah.
that would really be relevant. I think its legendary action, the Starlight Strike one, is also pretty good because that's 38 radiant damage if it fails.
Yeah.
I think this
Fair.
one's just a hair better than white, but I definitely don't think it's
38.
better than the next one.
So,
Where did you see that one ability that you were just talking about?
The legendary actions at the bottom, it's called Starlight Strike,
Right.
but they can only do it once
mm-hmm.
because it takes all 3 actions. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a like
Oh, I see.
burst damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't cry if it was below white, but I feel like white's kind of in our punching bag.
So, what are you thinking of in F tier between brass and white?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay, this one has 5 intelligence, like +5 intelligence. It would be able to outthink the white dragon.
Hands down.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
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 I can live with that.
So
It's
sorry.
surprising.
+1 for Dex, though.
Its stats across the board are just flat better.
Yeah.
I mean, except the strength. Everything else it either matches or is better.
Yeah.
No, everything
And
else
it
is
can
just
cast guidance at will. I mean, the white dragon can't do that.
No.
Guidance is good.
It is.
Good. All right.
For when this dragon is trying to pick a lock.
Hey, you know what? It might need to.
It'd also be such a long fucking fight because they both have resistance to cold.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
I think also, white dragon doesn't have a resistance to radiant, though.
That's fair.
I think white dragon is
Yeah.
immune to cold damage, but this guy does radiant damage, not cold
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah. Okay then. It'd be interesting. Well, he might be able to cast guidance at will, but the Emerald Dragon can cast Mage Hand at will, and his Mage Hand is
Whoa.
invisible. And
Oh,
also
wow.
he has Minor Illusion at will as well.
He could also mislead you once per day.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The
Oh, don't you
mislead
see
stuff.
one per day mislead?
No, where's that? I'm
at the end of the spellcasting?
Yes.
Once per day.
spellcasting.
In the normal
Oh,
stat
I see,
block,
I
not
see
within
it.
the-
Yeah,
Interesting.
okay. I will say higher HP, not the highest, but definitely like around the average of what we've been seeing. Pretty good stats across the board. Resistance to fire and psychic, not bad.
Those are good.
once per day, it can warp perception by casting Mirage Arcane, so it can make the terrain look different, which that's really what an advantage.
This dragon does.
I will say its breath is good.
It is striking me as the type of dragon who is like the illusionary, trippy type of deal.
Well, it's just the like gem answer to the green dragon.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting off of it, really. But each
DC 22 int save, that's not insane. A lot of parties are going to be able to hit that reliably, and takes 56 psychic damage, and until the end of its next turn, when the creature makes an attack roll or ability check, it must roll a d8 and reduce the total by the number rolled.
Oh,
that's
nasty. It's a worse version of Bane. Oh my god.
That's real nasty.
Its lair actions are really good.
What's its lair actions? What we got for him?
It has the Beguiling Whisper, which is fine. Distort Perception. The dragon attempts to alter the perceptions of one creature it can see within its lair. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 Intelligence save.
Oh no.
Which, again, Intelligence saves are not that common. Or take 22 psychic damage and have disadvantage on saving throws until the start of its next turn. Or it can just vanish. It just turns invisible.
I love it. Why?
I think this one is pretty good.
It is pretty good.
It also, one of the regional effects is called Subtle Obstruction. Rocks within 6 miles of the dragon's lair sometimes move on their own accord, usually when no one is watching. Often the rocks obstruct the approach to the dragon's lair, with boulders moving to block narrow pathways, waymarkers tumbling off the path, or smaller stones shifting beneath travelers' feet to send them tumbling down slopes or into rivers.
Dangerous.
Very.
What?
This is a very scary dragon.
It strikes me. And it also has that fiery sight thing.
Yeah, and one of its legendary actions is a cost 3 actions thing, but the dragon creates a dancing mode of green flame that it can see around a creature it can see within 60 feet. The target must succeed a DC 20 Dex saving throw or takes 42 fire damage. That's like a lot of concentrated damage for a layer action. Or legendary action, sorry.
Legendary action. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I would be very happy putting this in S.
It does?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where in S. I was also kind of convinced on S. Is it better than the Gold Dragon?
No.
I would say
it can't banish you to a realm of its dreams. Like, I'm sorry, it can't do that.
That's like your argument. Is it better than the Gold Dragon? It can banish you! No, it's not!
Literally. The reason I'm saying that is it's very scary, but it can't just take people off the board.
Yeah.
Like, it can disorient you, it can fuck with you, it can disappear, but it can't just, like, remove your glass cannon.
Yeah.
Which the Gold Dragon can.
Yes.
I would say probably lower S tier. I don't know if it's better than the Amethyst Dragon, to be honest.
Oh no.
So I think it's
I think bottom S.
Amethyst is like raw powerhouse. This is like a little trickster guy, like very dangerous, but less overall intimidating.
He's a Loki dragon.
Yeah.
He'd be the Loki dragon. That actually
he's definitely up to something, but
it strikes me as like you said, the crafty green gem dragon.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right then. Made it to the S tier is getting a bit full, which is I'm not complaining,
a
because
lot of real good dragons, man.
I know. Yeah. I was when we're starting with the chromatics and not one of them were making it into A, and we still only have one dragon in A tier, and it's like bottom of A tier. It's like I was concerned that we're not gonna get a decent even spread. That's okay. Moving on though.
I feel like of all the dragons in S tier, this is the one I'd be most likely to put in A.
Yes.
Well,
very close.
We'll come back to it then at the end to see if we want to move it or not. And because we'll have to take a look and see if the Sapphire Dragon is also potentially an S tier dragon or not. It cannot cast any cantrips at will, unfortunately. So sad. But that's okay, I guess.
No, but it's definitely a much more.
What?
Its breath weapon is pretty good.
Dragon exhales.
It incapacitates creatures.
Oh my gosh.
It just screams at them really loud.
It's a banshee.
It has hold monster as a spell. Telekinesis, which is a lot of fun.
It also has a legendary action that is a telekinetic fling.
Wow.
Which does 42 bludgeoning damage if it hits.
That's really good.
It is the telekinetic telepath dragon.
Yeah. One thing I would want to point out about the Sapphire Dragon is it is the most warlike and strategy-minded of the gem dragons. I believe I read something talking about how green dragons will often like find some sort of aberration and then send the Sapphire dragons after it. So they're the ones who actually do the dirty business. Like the emerald dragons, sorry. Yeah, sapphire dragons often refrain from striking immediately, preferring to incest intruders first in order to devise the most advantageous approach to dealing with them. Like, this is why we were arguing for the blue to be so high. Like,
It's another tactician, and it has some really fun spells that it can use tactically at its advantage too.
Its layer actions, it has Beguiling Whisper, it has Stone Passage, which is like the ice one, but it also has Awesome Thunder, which is great. A thunderous detonation of sound that can be heard up to 300 feet away surrounds one creature in the layer that the dragon can see. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 con throw or take 13 damage and be stunned until the end of its next turn. And I think it's the stunning that is very powerful.
So I would personally want to put this probably bottom S tier and bump the other one to top of A.
Yeah.
Wait.
100%.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Emerald.
Yeah, the emerald.
So you want to bring emerald down to top of A, and okay. All right, I can see that then. And you want to bring the sapphire into S, is that correct?
Bottom S, yes.
Bottom S. Okay.
It seems just a lot more combat oriented than the emerald, which I think the emerald might be more interesting to have as an NPC, but I would much rather fight an emerald dragon than a sapphire.
It seems to me that some of these dragons are like more intense, better versions of the chromatics, which is a bit unfair.
Well, I think I said something at the beginning of the recording about power creep, and I feel like this is definitely like there has been a power creep in dragons because you got to make them cooler and better if you're putting out a whole source book about them.
Yeah, and these are the like newest dragons, correct?
Yes.
This, like,
I think the book is coming out at the end of October.
Oh.
No. Fizzbands is out.
I was gonna say I thought because I wouldn't have access to this if it wasn't out.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Okay, it's already out. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And that makes sense. They just wanted to like, hey, I know that we have the red dragon and everything. What if we had a better version that could that has telekinesis and whatnot? Because why not? But okay.
Well, I think the idea of the like astral dragons is really cool. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, putting sapphire into S and bumping emerald top of A, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure. All right. Next up is the topaz dragon, and
I believe last
dragon of all is the topaz dragon.
Okay, this one's interesting.
Go on.
Because low hit points, decent stat spread. It can cast Fabricate once a day, but its breath weapon is
really good.
Brutal.
The dragon exhales yellowish necrotic energy 90-foot cone, DC 20 Constitution. On failed save, creature takes 49 necrotic damage and is weakened until the end of his next turn. A weakened creature has disadvantage on strength-based ability checks, strength saving throws, and the creature weapons attacks that rely on strength deal half damage. Oh, this is the anti-barbarian dragon.
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but because it's necrotic damage, don't you have to take a long rest to get those hit points back?
Or
is that specific? Okay, yeah. It'll specify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know there are certain things like that, but no, usually would specify. Necrotic is another one of those difficult damages to get resistance for.
Its legendary action is really good.
Which one? Essential Reduction. The dragon targets a creature or an object not being worn or carried. They can see within 6 feet. The target must succeed on a DC 19 Constitution saving throw or take 40 necrotic damage. If this damage reduces a target to 0 hit points, it crumbles to dust. Oh no!
Good. That's
I also
good.
want to point out that one of its daily spells is Anti-Life Shell.
Oh no!
Really. Also, the most likely, I feel like, dragon out of the gem dragon so far to like be the enemy of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been described as erratic and selfish.
Oh,
so,
yay.
An encounter with them can start out really positively and end in a combat because they're very like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
layer
actions? Oh no! Oh, cancellation. The dragon chooses active spell of 5th level or lower that it's aware of in the layer. It ends the spell. Oh, what is this? And then
negative energy infusion. Up to 2 creatures the dragon can see within the layer must each succeed on a DC 15 con saving throw or take 14 necrotic damage. Negative energy then infuses the layer until initiative 20. Then at the next round, while the infusion lasts, creatures in the layer other than the dragon can't regain hit points.
Oh no! Wow. Mr. Topaz Dragon is intense.
And one of its regional effects is called negative energy. When a creature finishes a long rest within 6 miles of the lair, the creature must succeed on a DC 15 con saving throw or be unable to reduce its level of exhaustion or regain spent hit dice.
Oh man! This is like the punishing dragon. It just wants to make your day the worst day ever.
Well, I think the thing is, it doesn't care. Like, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'm fine. But it's this, like, embodiment of death and decay. So these things just happen.
Yeah.
That's intense. The picture is, it's like a gold dragon, but it has like this green, like, mist thing coming off of it. Or I think that might be a cliff that it's sitting on top of. But holy crap.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon dragon for sure. It doesn't have a lot of healing potential, but fuck.
It's a you better make sure you kill it fast or else you're going to be hurting.
Or go in with a full party of like undead. Or inanimate Warforged.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, not Warforged. One of my very first discussion videos was talking about if disintegration type stuff would extra affect Warforged or not, and I feel like Essential Reduction, you could argue that it does like extra.
I was talking about Anti-Life Shell because it doesn't affect undead or constructs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that would work.
Yeah, this guy's really scary. I would be very happy putting it in high S.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is scarier than the Gold Dragon, frankly.
Oh.
Because Gold Dragon, I know I was arguing like it can just take you off the board, but like
this
has a lot of stuff. Like you can't even heal 6 miles around his lair.
Yeah.
This is where I'm not sure, and this really depends on what kind of standard it is that we're going against. Are we going like, because I think the Gold Dragon would kick the Topaz's dragon's ass.
Yes, Topaz Dragon, but the Gold Dragon would kick Topaz Dragon ass, or just be like, no, go away. Dream realm.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Dragon v Dragon, it would lose. Dragon v Party, I think it's probably the strongest, if not like just under Gold.
It is very terrifying. This, I can't believe that it has this much like awful stuff to it. Like we've had like some of the other dragons were like pretty bad. The Slayer actions and the spells and the breath, all of this is just, you need to kill it fast or else you are in trouble.
I think
I agree with Ben though.
Just above, honestly, if the more I think about it, between everything, I would be fine to put this just above the Gold Dragon, especially considering that you are more likely to get into a confrontation with this dragon than the Gold Dragon.
Yes. Gold Dragon's like, you would have to be up to a lot of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
To have it actually like legitimately fight you.
This strikes me as a great BBEG for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I don't. So I do want to. We haven't touched upon it. What is it personality wise for this dragon?
Erratic and curmudgeonly.
Oh, you did say it. And selfish too.
Yeah.
Okay then. So it could just be literally just a. They'll screw you.
This is more of a force of nature than it is a person.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's. Jeez. That was. This guy's terrible. Holy crap. Yeah, no. This is great. Well, anyways, that was the last metallic dragon, as well as the last dragon that we are going to list. No, wait. Gem dragon. Excuse me. Last gem dragon. So who's the best gem dragon out of the bunch?
Ooh, jeez, guys, I wonder.
Oh my word. Well, hold on a second, because the amethyst dragon's pretty good too. This one is terrible. It has a lot of terrible stuff. Amethyst dragon.
The amethyst dragon can't just cancel your 5th level spell.
Okay, that is fair. That is very fair. Okay then. Topaz
and it also can't go, no one else can heal except me. Like.
Yeah, no, I guess that's fair. Topaz dragon is the best gem dragon. So, the tier list is complete, and
excellent.
Our standing is in S tier. Top of S tier is Topaz dragon. Next is gold, amethyst, and sapphire. Moving down to A tier. Top of A is emerald, followed by blue. Next is B with silver and red dragon. C tier is green and copper. Copper dragon, in my opinion, should be higher. Just role play, but I know he's not. Yeah, I know. In D tier we have black and bronze. And then in F tier is brass, crystal, and white dragon. Is there anything that you guys wish to change?
No, I genuinely think that's pretty legit.
Yeah. I almost want to swap brass and crystal to put crystal on top, but I'll be okay.
I'm sorry, Ben.
I can sleep tonight.
I'm sorry, Ben. I know. It's the breath. It's the breath weapon. It just gives it just a little bit.
It's so overpowered.
Just a little bit better of a breath weapon, but that is it. Well, that is all the dragons that we're going to cover for now. Before we sign off, yes, I understand there are a lot more dragons that we could have done, especially the ones with like names. We might do a specific like named dragon tier list, but this is already I'm gonna have a fun time editing this, but that's okay. Anyways, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you Hannah and Ben for helping to construct this tier list. It has been it has been very enlightening going through all of these dragons. These are some terrifying suckers. And also very fun to learn about a couple of the other ones, like the copper dragon. I'll have fun trying to implement that in some other ideas. But anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I'm rikquasar, and this has been myself, Hannah, and Ben. And make sure you head on over to the archives to see everything else that I've put up on there. But until then, all of you have a good night. And say good night, Ben and Hannah.
Good night.
Good night.